What's going on YouTube? I'm Evan, this is Marksman Trading, and welcome to my channel. Today is January 30th, and it's a solid red day, unfortunately. I'm down $31, so 3R in my stock account. Didn't take any trades in the prop firm futures account. I just didn't see any good setups in there at all, so didn't take anything in there. I'm still working towards that 3K, funded PA account. Hopefully by the end of this week before I get billed again for the next account. So yeah, that's where I was today. We traded Google, we traded AMD, and we traded Intel. And yeah, every single trade I took today was just like wrong. I think 2 trades had edge to it. I didn't take one trade that had my edge, which would have worked. And I took one like just bad trade that technically had my edge, but the price action really wasn't there. I'll go over that in the video in this recap, show you why I probably shouldn't have taken that trade, even though it had basically, most of the things to look for in a trade in that setup. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first trade that we took was on Intel. And so this is one of those stocks that I was trying to find that was like in my in-play scanner. And as you can see, the stock gapped down, and I was looking for, I stated I want to see like a green bottoming tail candle. I was hoping it would extend more, but it gave us that bottoming tail yesterday. And we had some solid volume on the 26th when the earnings came out, or like the day after. So I was thinking maybe we might continue to reverse today if the market wants to hold. So right off the bat, right at open, the Intel popped up and then kind of flushed right back down to this demand zone, which I had drawn based off of this. What was it, a 30-minute chart? I want to say 30-minute. Yeah, this kind of 30-minute demand zone right here. As you can see, kind of respected it here, rejected it here, got back above it. So I thought I was going to almost do like a retest, kind of hold it. Unfortunately, it did not. And as you can see, we had some solid price action, or at least like bottoming tail candles. We had this green engulfing candle. We had this this insane wick, right? Because it was flushing down, then got wicked right back up and actually went green. So that's a pretty bullish candle. And so unfortunately with this trade, I like to say I got tunnel vision, right? So knowing, just my trading habits, I just for a long time, and now it's not as bad as it used to be, but I had this bad habit of just getting tunnel vision from like the immediate 1-minute price action. And what I mean by that is I would see like an engulfing candle and I would disregard every other thing to do with the trade, and I would be like, all right, I need to go long here. I would get tunnel vision. I wouldn't look at anything else. So that's kind of what happened today. I saw that we kind of based on demand zone. So we had, right, that part of my criteria was met. We had that demand zone. Second part of my edge that was met was the demand line, right? We had that there. And lastly, this is the kind of like price action I want to see at the bottom of a V shape, but there's still more to it than that, right? So even though my edge was technically like there, it really wasn't. The price action, even though we had the candles I want to see at the bottom of a V shape, taking everything else into consideration, we still rejected the 90 MA in the 1 minute. We rejected VWAP earlier, so we almost kind of pulled back into that. What else? We rejected pre-market low, which is that gray dashed line. So even though we had like a 2-minute demand line starting to form, even though the 5-minute closed out, a bit of it like a bottoming tail doji that was green. Just like looking into the trade overall, the setup, I should have waited for like a higher low or something confirming it, because V shapes are best when they're taken as like an extended play. And this definitely wasn't extended. So yeah, I had tunnel vision, and that's something I had to work on. I recorded it, I logged it, and I journaled it. So we will definitely be better at that next time. Next we have, I believe it was AMD. No, I took Google next, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So Google, we had a double bottom setup form. And as you can see here, I don't know why. Sometimes the trades just don't want to show. Okay, well, I have it marked out anyways. So we entered here. Oh, there we go. We took 50 shares at 154.02 at 10.08. And then we got stopped out in the same candle, just same flush candle got stopped out because we had our stop loss at the low of day, right? It was at 153.82, the low of this candle. We got stopped out immediately where that yellow dashed line is. And then it proceeds to rip right back up and move higher. And so that was kind of discouraging. So as you can see, we came down and then closed really nicely from the opening candle, moved up, kind of pulled back down, flushed from the highs of the day, right back down, and then we had this green engulfing candle. And I was like, you know what, technically my edge is there. we have the pre-market low, which is our key level that I was looking at, which it would be best, if that was like down here. But still, it's never gonna be perfect with trading. Sometimes it's more of an art than a science, and sometimes it's not. So, maybe the level was too high to be taking this trade, but I mean, I've taken it like this before where it's worked. And so I'll let it, I stay patient. I let it close above this level. I saw the green engulfing candle. So to me, that was the price action was confirming. The level was there. We had the green demand line on the 1 minute. So my edge was present. Let's see, the 2 minute had it forming. It wasn't straight yet when I took it. But I like the look of it. And my mentor actually, he warned me not to take it. But I was like, oh, it's my edge. I should take it. But unfortunately, I got stopped out right away. And so it ramped right back up, and I was thinking about taking here at 10-11, because technically, I've seen this happen before, but I get right back in, right? If I get stopped out, just barely, just by a few cents, I usually get right back in if it like hits my initial entry again. Especially if the setup is still like kind of being respected. And then my mentor warned me again. He was like, "Oh, you may not want to take that." And so I was like, "Okay, I didn't listen to the first time, and that I got hurt from that." And so I was like, "I'm gonna listen to him this time." And then unfortunately, it did go up this time. It went like 2R roughly. I've entered on that pullback candle with stop loss to low of day, so a little lower. That's just the way it goes, He's a solid trader. Obviously, he knows like way more than I do, so he's looking out for me. I definitely appreciate it. And if I would have listened to him the first time, I never would have even had gotten stopped out in the first place. So that's just the way it goes. I think the lesson I learned from here is maybe it's okay that I went long here, or maybe I shouldn't long, double bottoms off of literally 2 1-minute candles. So I need to see it soak more like it did here. So that's the first takeaway from this is I need to see more candles kind of base out at a double bottom before I can go long. Secondly, is just to take my edge whenever I see it. Yeah, I think that's just about it for that trade. And then lastly, we took AMD. And so my mentor, his YouTube channel is the Honor Trader. You guys should check him out. He's got some solid content. Really, really good trader. He's been trading for a long time. We trade live together every day. So with AMD moved up in the morning, and kind of pulled back, and then moved right back up. Not too many. There's some pullbacks, but nothing like steep, right? So I was expecting it. We were both expecting it to fail off the previous day's close. So that was the key level. And then we had the 1 minute supply line. I think we had a 2 minute supply line as well. Let me check. 2 minute supply line. We had 5 minute supply line at the time too. 15 minute was almost there. It was a little bit higher, but so we had like a lot of supply lines. So that was good. We had the key level. I let it move up, flush back down, and then I got in on the short on this pop back up into previous day's close. And so we were both in it, and I was up about 0.7R down here. And I got short, 177.58, stop loss to high of day all the way up here at 178.34. And so I was up like 0.7R down here, and I saw these flushes, keep coming down, the game worked right back up. And keep coming down, again, worked right back up. So there was a buyer down here. I was even watching the level 2, and I saw that there was a massive bid. I saw like 50, I saw 20, over and over. But he wasn't really raising the bids, right? So he wasn't an aggressive buyer, but he was just not leaving this area. And I saw these topping tails coming in. And I was like, okay, there's a seller up here too. I was expecting the market to start rolling over at that point as well. I think it was like rejecting a trend line I had drawn or something like that. And unfortunately, it's one of those moments where it's like, okay, I made a rule for myself to not take my stop loss to break even until 1R is hit, right? I accept the risk. I've just been trying to remain disciplined with accepting my risk, even when it's not even when I'm green, right? But I'm not at 1R. Most of my trades, winning trades, do go 1R. I really don't classify it as a winning trade unless it does go 1R. So, I was just trying to stay disciplined. I didn't take my stop loss to break even though I wanted to. I was watching the price action. So this is that predicament of, do I proactively cover and trade what the chart is showing me, or do I trade like my stats and my rules? And so, I really don't know what I should have done here. Like, I remain disciplined, so I can like kind of commend myself for doing that. But at the same time, it's like, I saw there was a buyer in the tape. I saw these flushes getting soaked, and even look at the 5 minute. The 5 minute had this 9 EMA, right? The 9 EMA had 2 solid bottoming tails. That's a good pullback spot to go long. So the 5 minute was looking kind of bullish too. So it's just one of those things where I feel like, if this trade did work out, And let's say I stopped out for break even up here, but then it would have flushed down and would have worked out. I'd be like, oh man, I should have stayed disciplined, even though I saw a buyer on the tape. But that didn't happen. And right now I'm like, oh man, I should have covered, even though and kind of broke that rule this time. So I don't know. That's something I just got to journal and review. I logged it. But yeah, days like today are very frustrating. Not gonna lie, they're the days that make me like kind of question trading because I'm still not profitable yet. I've been profitable maybe like 2 months out of like the 3 years I've been trading. I know a lot of traders when they first get into trading, they have success early on, and I never had that, which I guess is a good thing because that can almost kind of be a blessing because I know a lot of traders that they get that early on success and then they end up blowing their account up because they put way too much money in their trades thinking that they already got it, and then it just doesn't work because it was just luck, and they blow up their account before they even have a chance to really even get into trading. So it just kind of gets stressful after 3 years of just like constantly losing every day. Days like today where you hit your max stop loss, you can't take any trades, especially when you're just barely wrong, right? Like AMD just barely stopped out here, then it rolled over. Google just barely stopped out on the double bottom, and then it moved right back up. So it's just days like today that's just like super frustrating. Makes you kind of question why you're trading. I think that's just a big part of every like successful trader's journey is they kind of go through that 2 year, 3 year kind of period where it's like I'm just seeing failure, but I'm just gonna keep pushing through, and that's what we have to do, I guess, as traders. But man, it's frustrating. Today was just one of those days where I just closed the computers down early and I just took a break because my mentor talks about it a lot. He's like, you have to learn to be a good loser. And that just means accepting losses. And as long as we're learning every single day, I think you can still technically classify it as a good day because, trading, I mean, you're not going to win every day. Even when you're doing everything right, that's what an edge is, right? Even if your edge has a 70% success rate, 30% of the time, you're not going to win. That's just the way that it goes. So even when you're doing everything right, you still can lose. That's just the name of the game. But even when you do things wrong, as long as you're recording the trades and you're putting the work in and reviewing and looking at your process and tweaking and fixing things and actively just trying to be better and learning every single day, I think you can just still classify it as a good day. So even though it sucks, that's just part of it, and you got to learn how to just deal with those emotions and be a good loser, and just get back to it tomorrow because even when you get because I've definitely I've reacted emotionally to big losses like today. And that like puts me on tilt, but that can put you on tilt for a long period of time, like a week. Like I've been on tilt for like a week. I could just feel it. I carry it into the next day. So the sooner you learn to like manage your emotions and just accept the losses for what they are, even when you screwed up like yourself, even if it was an unnecessary loss, even if every single one of these trades was like an unnecessary loss, as long as you can just, learn to accept it, learn from it, log it, and then just go into the new day, the next day as like a new day, then yeah, I think that's progress. It just takes time. So we're going to get there for sure. Like I said, we didn't take any futures trades earlier or today earlier. So, just stuck with stocks today. We have interest rates coming out tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. I think they're expecting like a pause, and then maybe a cut in the second quarter. I think something like that. I got to look into that again. But yeah, so I'm gonna be cautious tomorrow too because that's just huge news. It's the first interest rate decision for the year. So yeah, I hope you guys had a better trading day than I did. Let me know how it went in the comments below. If just be sure to ask any questions, or if you want to just talk about trading, just go ahead. I got an Instagram as well, so you can always just DM me on there as well. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.